everyone. Welcome you to another episode of the Healthy You Conference. Find health and life balance with Qigong and other techniques. So today we have Peggy Rahn. Peggy is a student of mine. She's a nurse too, still in her practice. So she's getting to retirement, but is still very active in the community, taking care of clients, patients, and also in her growth to be teaching Qigong as her passion and also experiencing how to do Qi healing. Her journey is a bit like this. She has like personal challenges for the past 25 years, and that led her to explore different methods of emotional healing, personal growth, including the hypnotherapy, quantum touch, Reiki, therapeutic touch, and shamanic training too. So she's so grateful. She has lovely children. So she practiced her alternative studies all these years, and she tried to practice on her family a little bit. And then her grandmother always bring her joy and happiness. So she's really a lovely registered nurse in British Columbia in Nanaimo right now, right?
Yes.
In Nanaimo, right? So there's a beautiful nurse in Nanaimo actually teaching Qigong. Ooh, interesting. Okay, welcome you, Peggy.
Thank you.
Hi. So I want to really talk a bit about your life journey, really, if you don't mind. That how, as a nurse, right, that you actually want to explore, this spiritual growth. What drawn you to do the spiritual growth, right? Before the qigong, really.
Well, I went into nursing school right after high school. So um, I have been immersed in that model of healing, the medical model of healing for 40 years or more. And in the process of that, I realized I have to almost shut down my emotions, to enable me to actually do the work of nursing because there's so many
Really.
things that are difficult. And
Like.
well, dealing with people who are very ill, dealing with children. My very first job was working with children on surgical wards. So
Oh.
I had to be able to not have my empathetic self there in that way of always comforting. I had to be able to go ahead and do difficult procedures and support
Yes.
the children through times of pain and real
Yeah.
suffering. Um, so I think over the years, I started to shut down my emotional connection to my work. I always
Yes.
was able to go through the motions, but I started to lack a little bit of the passion, and it
Ah.
became more of a job than really that combination of the whole art and science of nursing.
Yes.
Um, I guess I call that the nursing art, the
Yes.
ability to actually be in tune and in touch with my
Yes.
heart, to be able to
Yes.
bring my whole self there. And then all the personal stress and being
Yeah.
sick and
Yeah.
you know,
People have the family, they have children, and then yeah,
yeah,
you have the bills to pay, and then maybe relationship to deal with. It's not just a nurse. You're just a human being, really. Just a human being got a job that called nurse, really. So when you
that's
first to join nursing, you really want to help people, right? That's when you first join, right?
yeah. And also I realized what I've learned is that in many of nurses, we want to help people because we're struggling with maybe our own personal trauma, even from maybe earlier in life.
Yes.
Um, so it's just a big journey for me to be able to start to learn about energy healing a long time ago,
Yeah.
and then follow
Exactly.
those different paths, and then finally to
Exactly.
begin to learn the Qigong, which seems to
Yes.
combine many of those things together.
So when you were in the nursing school, right, and then later on you came to the real world of working in the hospital, right? So what was working in the hospital what you thought nursing is all about?
I think I was so young then, and I came from a farm upbringing in the country, so I was pretty naive. So I was just doing what I was told. I'm very good at doing what I was told.
Okay. Oh, so you were told to be a nurse.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
want to do that. I want to help people, and I
Yeah.
also was able to follow those
Uh-huh.
routines and those things easily because
Yes.
I learned how to obey.
Obey. Okay.
But then then the other part is to incorporate the realization that the medical system wasn't able to help everybody all the time.
Yes.
Still going through time,
Yes.
people don't get better. People are
Yes.
still going to die, even young people.
Yes.
So there's always a gap. Like, what's missing? What's missing?
Yeah.
And what's missing?
Yeah. It must be real difficult when you finish a day of work, but then the whole day is with sufferings, right?
Well, you have to shut down.
You have to shut down. If not, you can't survive.
At least for
So
me,
yeah, when you go home, it's like all the patients in your head. Oh, what did
you
they
have,
do today? Who hurt? Who
and you
was
have to
dying? And then yeah.
and you turn it into the way that we learn from each other. So I think the energy healing over the years has helped me to transition that into
Mm.
what I can learn, like not so much about the suffering, but what we each learn. Because we
Mm-hmm.
those people would teach me, I would teach them. We would share. It would be more
Oh yeah. Okay.
than
Oh, okay. That's really good. So, I mean, the spiritual growth is to understand the lesson everyone come to your life, even though they were suffering, they
yes,
showed us a lesson.
yes.
Oh,
And
that's beautiful.
I could incorporate the nursing, the science of
Yes.
into that, and
Yes.
that's my goal now, mostly to be able to do more and more of that. Still a challenge because I still follow very strictly those routines when I'm at work, but I
Yeah.
bring in a little bit more of the energy and a little bit more
Yeah.
of Qigong.
Hmm.
I think Qigong
So,
has
so did you
connected,
find your emotions not shutting down since into the energy work again?
yeah, I think I'm able to connect more. I have more days of really good energy where I'm really able to connect with my spirit
Yeah.
and bring my whole self to do the job.
So
Yeah.
when you felt yourself connect with spirit, what's the feeling at work when you compare with when you were not connecting with the spirit?
It instead of just being a job, it
Hmm.
becomes what I love to do.
Oh, you
That's
enjoy nursing now.
and I have the energy. It takes intense.
Oh, okay,
So
beautiful.
it's about having enough energy to actually be able to do those things. And when I don't,
Yeah.
I know I'm not taking care of myself.
Oh, yeah. When you run through the nursing, it's really tiring, right? It's a tiring job, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
So
demanding.
do you actually sit down and rest while you're at work at all, or just really
I
running around the whole day?
have a lot of a desk job now.
Oh, you
Um,
do that job now.
I do both. I do desk
Okay.
and also out on the floor supervising and helping all the staff and
Yeah.
help solve their problems. So the Qi Gong is helpful for that too. I
Yeah.
try to offer that practice to them.
Yeah. So you have been in nursing for 40 years, right? It's a long time. So would you maybe describe how you spent the 40 years? I think it's really beautiful for other nurses to see what the journey might have been, or could be, or they're just starting nursing. Because 40 years is a lot of sharings to learn from you, really. So the first, you can just group them. I would say group them in like every 10 years. And when was the stress, and when did you feel you have to tap into your spiritual self, and then what it means to you? It's really interesting because just like when you first started, maybe just like you were in the 20s, really.
Yes, oh for sure. I was only
Yeah.
19 when I graduated. There's a 2-year program in those days to be a
Yeah.
registered nurse. So 19 years old, I got married, got my
Gee,
job as a nurse, and
really. Wow.
so for the first, and then after about 5 years or 6 years, then I
Uh-huh.
had my first child.
Uh-huh.
So I had a son, and so
Wow.
that 5 years was probably the most, the most learning, the most in-depth kind of uh, immersion in the whole career of nursing. But then I
Yes.
stopped nursing for a year or two in there because my husband was working in a logging camp. So I became a logger. I became chainsaw operator to
Yes.
him instead of having to be away all the time.
Yes.
So that also affected my journey because not only am
Yes.
I a professional nurse, but now I can also doing almost a man's work. Uh,
Yes.
I always had intrigue to do some
Yeah.
physical labor. So that changed a little bit. Then the children start coming and the relationship starts changing. And I got into a different kind of nursing. So my first experience is medical surgical on the units. Then I got into a bit more community nursing, outpost nursing, small hospitals in the interior of British Columbia, tiny hospitals where I have to do everything as a nurse, not just one
Yeah.
section of
So,
children. or
So
something.
would these be all your first 10 years, or is they already go beyond the 10 years?
That would be the first 10 years. That's
Yeah.
just bringing me up to the end of 10 years.
So
Uh,
so after about 10 years, is that when you felt something wrong or something?
it's probably another 6 or 7 years.
Oh, I mean about 15 years,
Uh,
15 years in nursing, then you felt something is wrong.
and life experience,
Oh, okay.
so many, so many stressful things in my life then.
Oh, okay.
So something was wrong.
So,
So
okay.
even 20 years, it would be in the early 90s when I first started to really look in
Yeah. Because
the alternatives. Yeah.
yeah, because your journey is a sample of other nurses to follow in such a big profession, you know. So
Mhm.
about 20 years you just don't quite know what's going on, but you're doing your job. And then
Yes.
about in really get to 20 years, you really start to feel fed up, right? A bit
That
fed up, but you
and
don't want to feel this way, but you just felt it's really very stressed in certain ways,
and it's
right?
almost like
Yeah.
so I started doing a different kind of nursing. I started doing community nursing. So
Yes.
with a nurse consultant, I would go to group homes in the community and do teaching to the staff and
Yes. Yes.
for the residents. So my role changed in nursing, and I was
Yeah.
exposed to different models, most of nursing, I would say.
Yeah.
So instead of just the hospital model, I was exposed to other ways that, and then my personal life was the connection of searching for that energy piece, searching for the
Oh, I guess it's looking for the peace.
yes, and
Oh,
my
I guess you're looking for a growth. You just felt you did not, it's not growing.
I think it's my
Yeah, is it?
personal it's my
Personal growth is not going. Yeah.
the personal growth and
But
through
you
my
know how to do your job very well, though.
yeah through my nurse. Oh, then I went back to school to get my degree from distance.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and it's the instructors in my degree who kept saying, you should get some help with this problem. You need to
Okay.
get some help with this problem. So
Oh,
then I started on
okay.
my personal growth. And I think it's through my personal growth linked with the nursing that I actually began to be more interested in complementary healing.
Oh, oh, I guess you don't really know you're very stressed out when you're actually in nursing. You just do the job just like everyone else, 20 years, 25 years, just the same thing. But
Yes.
then
And
you
also,
felt there was a calling inside to tap on something more for yourself.
yes,
And then as you start tapping on it, you just realize what was really missing.
yes, that's
And then
correct.
you just found, oh my God, I could have been a happier person if I started earlier, for instance, right? Is that what you meant?
A little bit, but I
Yeah,
just
bit, yeah.
it was time to do the healing then.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
timing. Oh,
and to incorporate.
divine timing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's all about divine timing.
yes. So for the last
Yeah.
say 15, 20 years, I've been really on this path of the complementary healing, and
Oh, okay.
that has really helped me. But still, I still need so much courage to do what I can to bring that into my nursing practice now.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and I even talk to other nurses, other nurse educators, and they have the same challenge. It's not an easy thing for us to do. Um,
Yes. Well, yeah, it's not easy because yeah, it is not easy because it's not encouraged in the system.
that's very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
so you have to sort of how to get by to find a space you can work on it, even on yourself, right?
That's very true. Even when I start to talk about the Qigong, or people say, "What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
What is that?" We don't know what that is, and sometimes they don't even ask me anymore. Then they just kind of shut down.
Yeah, because they don't really have the time to understand what they don't understand. So if people do like acupuncture now, they understand, at least everyone sort of understand. So
Yes,
then they don't have to question anymore. Oh, you're doing that. Maybe they haven't done it, but then at least they know what's that, right?
yes, that's it.
So let's make Qigong more popular so then you don't have to explain, and then they at least know that's a breathing exercise. Just tell them it's a breathing exercise that generate a life force energy and make you happier and rejuvenate and get the energy you need for your work, really. It's really simple. It's just breathing, right? Or you can actually say it's a mindful breathing. I think that's a new term that helps people now.
Okay,
Mindful breathing with gentle movements.
the gentle movements. I think the gentle movements is what really drew me in because
Yeah,
I do something that moves
yeah,
as well as the
exactly. But then
process.
for the other people, they don't know what qigong. If you say mindful, they don't cancel you.
Okay, I understand.
Just don't cancel. You have a conversation first,
That's true.
and then you can talk about gentle movements or whatever. And just the way, it's a beautiful place, British Columbia. We love it. So I also know that you also trying to work on my online program, become a teacher.
Yes.
And then you studied for 5 months now, and you started to have your student, right?
Yes.
So how's the feeling studying online? Did they actually manage?
Oh, it's really excellent. The online program is wonderful for me. I can do it anywhere. During that time, I had to go back home to my aunt's funeral, and I could take everything there. And then I had lots of time to learn and practice and study.
Yeah.
I just really love that online program. It works for me very well.
Well, I'm really excited for you to check it out because I just told myself I just gonna do it. So I take myself a half a year and just figure out how to deliver teaching in an online program. So did you experience how to send chi too? There's another part of that in the program, right? How to fa chi.
Yes, I have practiced the Fa Chi, not as much as I would want to,
Yeah.
but I like it. It's the people that I practice with, they told me they could feel the energy moving. They
Yeah.
felt different. One lady felt, I feel so relaxed.
Yeah.
I just feel wonderful. So uh, I'm looking forward to that. I've been focusing mostly on the Qigong and trying to learn the moves and do it right. Because sometimes I make up my own little way and then I have to go
Yeah, you
back.
have. Yeah. Well, you have a lot of training in quantum touch and
Most
Reiki, therapeutic touch, and that. So I'm sure if you bring them all together and then how to work on the Fa Chi, you will have a new way that you'll be organizing your session.
I'm really excited about that. And
Yeah, is that nice? I'm
stable now.
happy.
So I'm looking forward to doing more and more of the Fa Chi.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But I guess maybe just people might have a question pop up, right? Oh, while people are learning other ways of healing like you did already. So
Mm.
when you practice the qigong, right? And then how did the qigong help you with the things you learned before? Even the qigong, practicing yourself,
I think
uh, yeah,
a lot of what I did before is energy kind of
yeah,
heat.
it's absolutely. They're all good.
This is on building the vibration in the
Yes,
body and using that even to help others. So
yes,
I just found the Fa Chi or the Qigong improve my
yeah.
focus because the practice I was interested in. But the biggest thing that I realized from the Qigong is that my eyes got so much better. And
Oh, the eye qigong helped you.
that
Okay.
really sold me because the Ai Qigong, I improved my vision so I could even get a different set of glasses that weren't as strong for my
Yes.
eyes. And I have had so much trouble with my eyes. I had a detached retina many years ago, and my vision has got progressively worse since then. So to be able to improve my vision was very exciting, and that proved to me that the qigong and the qi energy really worked. I can feel it in my body when I do it. When I practice every morning, I can feel the qi in different parts of my body. Not always, but a lot of the time. So to me, that's showing that it's helping to move those blocks of energy. It's more of I can feel it more than I could with the other things.
Oh,
So I
so
feel more.
so how long have you been practicing my eye qigong now?
I practiced. I think I started the course about 2 years ago. Actually, I backed off a little bit since I've been focusing on this course now.
It's okay, I
I
understand.
find it's good. So I practiced it for 6 months, very regularly, very diligently, and I noticed the improvement.
So that's the good tips for other people is when you take on my eye qigong, like Peggy, really focus on it about half a year and you really could tell the difference, right?
Really tell the difference.
Yeah, so that's an encouragement too, because having detached retina, or macular degeneration, or people who have other eye problems is really no kidding, right? It's really need encouragement. Thank you, Peggy. Yeah. So I also want to ask you other things too, right? So how do you find your lifestyle change since the practicing these energy work and the qigong, right? Uh,
I'm
mm,
able to be more grounded, I
more
think,
grounded.
and I'm also able to be more connected with my body. For up until about 10 years ago, I didn't really connect with my body. I shut down my body feelings to push forward to do everything I need to do. I think that's more or less a woman's way. I know men do that too, but many of us as women, we do that. We put aside ourselves for our children, for our work, for our family. And I know other people do that too, but for me, I think it just took me a lot of years to get connected again. And the Tai Chi, I started practice Tai Chi about 10 years ago, and I think that really helped me because I actually did those exercises, and I still do. And those with the Qigong, really, I can start to zone into different parts of my body and really feel where the blocks are happening. And
Exactly.
that along
That
with
was
getting
so exciting.
arthritis is
Yeah.
a big flag to me that I need to pay attention to those parts of my body and keep moving.
Yeah, I think it's nice to touch this part you're saying a bit more too. You know, when we have a health problem, for instance, or emotions or something, so we don't quite know where in which part of our body is the problem or is taking on the feelings, the stress, energy, the vibration, what the wrong vibration is. So the practice of the qigong is because you are in that meditative state, but you're not trying to zone out, and then you're connecting with yourself on a regular basis, then you start to actually could tell where the problem is actually sitting.
That's it exactly. To feel that energy moving through my body, the
Hmm.
little shivers and the vibrations, and then it just gives me an affirmation that things are working and changing.
Yeah.
We get so used to going to the doctor for a pill, and even for my clients at work, um, they're having pain, we offer them a pill, a medication. That's our first, like, we try to make sure people are comfortable for sure, but then when that
Yes.
work, if we could only have a little bit more of someone to come and sit and meditate and gently offer support,
Yes.
I think it's
Isn't
going to
that
help
nice?
people. Yeah.
Well, if there's a service call in the hospital, like you can call a nurse over to give you a little qigong class,
No,
15 minutes, and then it's covered by OHIP. I think that would be quite nice, eh?
you should work for that.
Oh, well, we have to start sending the energy to the universe. So if it can be a request, and then with demand and covered by OHIP, right?
Yes.
I think that really works, right? Isn't it, Peggy?
Good idea. I mean, acupuncture is now covered in lots for some people, not for everyone, but for some
Yeah.
people. There's
Well,
movement.
I mean, if the insurance will, I guess maybe some insurance actually does that. But if it can become something like popular, that the insurance actually cover people, call for qigong teachings in their home as part of the insurance coverage for even help people with a rehab, coming off medicine or maybe from accident would be pretty
And
nice, eh?
say if I work in a long-term care facility right now, so if there would be a person hired by that facility to be able to do even a little bit of work,
Yeah,
it helps so many people. And even right now, even we have a great need for volunteers. So
yeah.
volunteering to spread that word.
Exactly.
It's good.
Maybe you can. I just always have ideas as we talk. Maybe you can approach them, right? Approach the head of the organization. Offer them a qigong class, 15 minutes. Don't keep it short. Keep it short. So you say, would this actually help people, or would this help the insurance to pay less money if they actually can feel something from a meditation with gentle movements called qigong, which is the base of acupuncture, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
will.
I
I
mean,
will try.
yeah. Can we do a submission? Let's do a submission. Let's see how we can do a submission. Maybe
See
we
what
can
else.
encourage a lot more nurses to come on board then.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if it can get into the CE of the nurses too. I will really be excited if.
Second,
Anyway, we'll train you to be the teacher for me.
another dream. Another dream.
Awesome. Yeah, love to. So, what's the tips you have for the young nurses or maybe the general public? It doesn't have to be young nurses, just nurse in general.
Nursing in general, to slow down.
Slow
Um,
down.
yeah, do some self care, explore different ways of self care. Um, you give so much to everyone else that I know now in my 60s, I have to look after myself in order to be able to keep giving. I think when we're younger, we think we can just push through and do it, but we do build up those blocks in our body then, and are at more risk of developing diseases that are stress related. So
Yeah.
relax, find something like Qigong, meditation. Um, start out with something even that's covered by your plan, like acupuncture. Experience that, see how it helps you.
Yeah.
Who knows where
So isn't that beautiful? So would you mind, like maybe some people in nursing or whatever give you a call to ask you questions about your personal
I
I
would
mean help with the spiritual growth?
certainly, I would encourage people to do that. I would be very happy to share.
Or
Yeah,
would you want to say maybe your email? Well, we'll find you on our Master Teresa's
yeah,
website later on too,
yeah,
so you will see Peggy there or something. So
that would
her contact information will be on our website, the Pureland. Yeah, but if you have a email or something you want to just say out loud, if you're very comfortable doing it, then go ahead.
well, my email is actually my name, so it's
Okay,
should I spell it? Is that
spell it
best?
please. Yeah, it helps.
PeggynRahn at gmail.com. And I would
Oh,
be happy to hear from you. It would be exciting.
yeah. So Peggy is a new instructor, but she has a heart, right? So we know that you have a heart that you
Mm.
want to share. So if there's some people, I guess would be probably more in the British Columbia area that need help. So give her a call. You never know if she can come to do a house call, right?
I come back and forth from Vancouver to Nanaimo regularly to see my granddaughters. So my
Okay.
family here. So
Yeah, it's nice to have that. So, well, I look forward going back to the Nanaimo. It's such a beautiful place too.
me too.
So, yeah, I really love Nanaimo. I met you at Nanaimo and really happy. So this is how a nurse pursue her holistic dream.
Thank
Isn't
you.
that beautiful? Yeah, it's really beautiful. So I mean, before we just finish for the day, so how's the children see you practicing energy work, right? It must be funny.
My granddaughter is a toddler, so she does a little bit. In fact, she was really upset she can't come onto the show right now.
Really? Or she can just show up on the screen. Just call her in. She doesn't have to be away. We love her.
She's run
Yeah,
off,
call her.
so I'm not
Yeah.
sure if she's close by. I would have to move around and find her, so it would take some time. But so she tries to do. She's only 2.5, but she tries to do the movements, and then she makes up her own.
Is it? Well, what we do is you can go and find her. We just wait on the screen, so we have lots of time. Just go and do
Okay,
it. Love it.
I
Yeah.
can find her. Hold on.
Yeah, just take the time. Yeah. Well, hi everyone. So isn't that beautiful to see the passion of, like, I would say, holistic practitioners, right? Like Qigong, like nurse, MDs or naturopath, homeopath, and they really have that heart, right, to share and give a little bit love, right? So it's not that you cannot do that. It's just about making that first step, right? The step to do something about your life, right? But even for those that are already doing a lot of things in their life, right? So isn't it nice to see that more people like you have that passion to share? It's not easy, but let's come together to become stronger and putting the same dream out, make the world a better place by sending our energy out to give love and trust that it will be returned love. Well, we don't do things to look for return, but then asking what's wrong with it? Nothing wrong with asking. So you just give love, send your light to the world,
Okay.
and then they bring the light back to you too. So we're just sharing some other things while you were away. So did you get her?
No, she's busy doing something else. Right.
Oh, okay. That's beautiful. Well,
So
is she coming?
shy. She says she's too shy.
Oh, well, we will just love her anyway. So,
Very sweet.
yeah, isn't that nice to have grandchildren? So I'm looking forward to mine too.
It is
So
beautiful. Yeah.
I will see how one step at a time. So thank you, Peggy, for coming on board today. It was really a pleasure to have you in the system.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to you for teaching, for sharing, for believing in me and encouraging me for this last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, isn't it nice to be connected too?
It
We
is too.
just it's just beautiful, really. We just feel having you is our blessings too.
Thank
So
you.
so hi everyone again. So we're gonna see you again in the next episode, and thank you. Bye.
Bye.